Okay, this is a battle report between a High Elf army and a Dwarf army. I guess in a way it's kind of a reenactment of the War of the Beard. It's 2250 points. You can see on the table upper right there's some ruins. We're treating that as a building. There's a hill in the middle of this picture. There's some impassable terrain in the top left of this picture. And most of the other terrain doesn't really affect the battle very much. So this is my High Elf army. I haven't played him since last November or December, so it felt good just to get him out and dust him off and play him again. In the lower right I've got a couple bolt throwers. There's a prince on a hippogriff down there. Then a lion chariot, a unit of 14 white lions of trace, 20 spear elves with a BSB and with my level 2 mage. Which is weird. This is a weird list. I just threw it together based on something I had laying around, and I would normally never take a level 2 mage. I'd probably take 2 level 1s or just leave them at level 1, but whatever. There's a Tyrannic chariot, an eagle, some Illyrian reavers, fast cavalry, 7 sword masters. There's in the lower left a unit of 5 dragon princes, and just up from those dragon princes are 10 bowmen and an eagle. So you can see I kind of grouped everything on the right hand side. I saw my opponent was doing the same thing with his blocks of infantry, so we're not using most of the board. You can see he has a bolt thrower on my far left, which is another reason. He placed those fairly early in deployment, so it's another reason why I'm on the far right. So there's a bolt thrower, 10 quarrelers, another bolt thrower. He's got a runesmith behind that impassable terrain. He's got a big block of longbeards, and his general is a Thane, and he's in with them. A big block of warriors with hand weapon shield, and there's a runesmith in that group. There's let's see, his cannon, more quarrelers, big block of iron breakers with a Thane BSB, an organ gun, and a big block of warriors. So here we go, High Elves turn 1. I want to march up really as quickly as I can, but that organ gun scares me too much, so that's why my white lions are hanging back a little bit. Matter of fact, I haven't moved them, so I know I'm just out of range of that organ gun, and with my elves being a little bit to the left, I think I'm out of range for them. So my white lion and my prince on the hippogriff, we're just hanging back out of harm's way. The room on the table we're dealing with is so low, I'm not worried about being able to get into combat when I need to be, so we're just hanging out to keep safe for now. I throw my eagle out there for a couple reasons. One, I'll probably charge his cannon, but two, if he shoots at my eagle, I'd rather do that than shoot at my elves or anything else I have on the table, really. Let's move my chariot up, put my fast cav behind the hill. March blocking doesn't do any good against dwarfs, so really I'm using the hill to protect them from those bolt throwers, and I just want to be available to do some redirections against his big blocks of infantry. So that's what they're doing. The dragon princes on the far left corner, you can see I forgot to move them, but there's not really a whole lot else I would have done with them. They're mainly a reserve unit right now. With their 16-inch march movement, I can get anywhere on the side of the board I need to be in a hurry. So really what I'm doing, I've positioned them behind the archers, using the archers as a screen so I don't get shot at. And I really do that most of the game with those archers. And you can see the eagle over here I moved up, looking to charge his bolt thrower. So during my shooting, sorry about that weird picture, but I take both my bolt throwers and shoot it at his organ gun, hoping that I can allocate enough hits on the crew to knock him out. So I killed all the crew except one, and I put 1 wound on the organ gun itself. So it's kind of a bummer because now he's going to be able to shoot next turn. It's one more turn that I'm going to have to waste shots on this guy, and then I'm not going to be able to move my white lions up. So anyway, dwarf turn 1, you can see he just kind of moves his corners a little bit, moves his blocks of infantry up. He shoots at my birdie and puts 2 wounds on him. Those eagles come with 3 wounds, so he's alive, barely. High Elf turn 2. Okay, so it's kind of the same thing. My spear elves, I'm marching up still. My white lions, I'm still hanging back. I'm pretty sure I'm going to kill that last crewman on his organ gun, so I probably could have moved the white lions up, But the last thing I wanted was to not kill that crewman and have that organ gun roll an 8 or a 10 on my unit of White Lions. And again, I think I have all the time in the world I need, so I'm still hanging back with them. On the left, really nothing's changed. I'm just kind of moving my guys into position, trying to set up a killing zone between my spearmen and the dragon princes and everything in between. There's another look at the board. With my eagle on the left, I decided to charge his runesmith instead of his organ gun crew. One, because I thought I had a better chance of winning the fight, and two, my level 2 mage rolled for Flames of the Phoenix, and I was actually the whole game long I was getting it every time. And so the first turn he dispel scrolled it, but he's stealing one of my power dice. He has an extra dispel dice, so I'm thinking my magic phase might actually do me some good if I can take that runesmith out of the game. The eagle on the right charged his cannon. I don't really expect to win that, but what else you can do with the guy? And after combat, you can see the eagle on the left killed the runesmith and overran. I was hoping to get off the table because I think that birdie's going to get shot to death next turn, but I didn't roll high enough. And on the combat on the right, I killed one of his crewmen. He fluffed his attacks on me, and we are locked in combat for a turn, which is just fine. That means next turn his cannon can't shoot. So dwarf turn 2. You see he's taken his 2 blocks of infantry on the left and are moving them up. The ones on the right he's holding back with. And I'm not sure what his plans are there, because it's the one on the right, the Ironbreakers, that has the most power. And plus it has the BSB with him. But anyway, that's what he's doing. He's holding back with them. And you can see he turned that bolt thrower at my eagle. And shot at my eagle and killed the eagle. So that eagle's dead, and the eagle that was fighting the cannon crew didn't do any wounds this time. They did a wound on him. He's dead. So anyway, both birdies are off the table, and we move on. High Elf turn 3. It looks like a jumbled mess in there. Really, it's kind of confusing. Maybe if I can be a little bit nerdy here, I can diagram it a little bit. That is what I was thinking. So let's start with the Spear Elves. The Spear Elves, I'm looking to be an anvil unit with that big block of Dwarf Warriors to provide me with some static combat res. Plus I've got a War Banner on my BSB to give me extra combat res. I'm looking to take my Lion Chariot into the front to provide impact hits and really 6 strength 5 attacks on the charge, so that should give me some wounds. Most importantly, I want my general on the Hippogriff into their flank because I negate rank bonuses. And I think with those 3 units, I'm going to destroy that block of warriors, no problem. My White Lions on the right, I have pointed at his Ironbreakers. I'm not looking to charge in there and take them one-on-one because I think with all the static combat res, I'm going to be losing combat every turn until I break. And I wasn't thinking that my troops were stubborn, because it's been too long since I played this army. But even then, it wouldn't have been a smart idea. There's too good of a chance of failing on a stubborn 8 if you have to take that test 3 times in a row. So really, they're just protecting my flank. I'm just sitting there angled such that if they come up, I can engage them. The Dragon Princes I've maneuvered to come around to support the White Lions. And again, I'm not looking to take the White Lions into the Ironbreakers and my Dragon Princes into the front of the Warriors unit, because that's just too much of a gamble. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do there, but that's what I'm thinking with the Dragon Princes. Now on the left, I'm looking to take the Fast Cav and try to pull that Longbeard unit to offer its flank to my Swordmasters. And if that doesn't work, then I plan on using them to charge into the flank. But between the Swordmasters and the Tyrannic Chariot and combined, and then the Fast Cav, one of those 2 is going to get a flank charge on that Longbeard unit and negate their ranks, and I think I have a very good chance in combat there. So you can see kind of my strategy is concentrating my troops on 1 unit at a time, make sure I have favorable combats, and if there's 1 or 2 of his units that never get in combat and are alive at the end of the game, I'm okay with that as long as I win the combats that I get into. So that was long and confusing and nerdy, and I apologize for it, but when I saw this picture, it really does look pretty confusing, and I wanted to maybe explain kind of what my thinking was on it. So that's the end of High Elf turn 3. We go to Dwarf turn 3 in the next segment.